Alrighty. Hello, Annihilation Nation. We are live with our Tier 3 game, Skoll versus Space Pandas, Lilac. For right now, I will be solo casting, but that's okay. Since our GOAT, our one and only Leapfrog, will be joining us pretty soon. Hopefully around map 2. We're so sorry for the late start, but predictions should be up, and I hope that everybody gets their gambas.
5, 4,
on the left here, we will have Skoll.
2,
on the right,
1.
we do have a Space
Round
Pandas.
1. Capture the objective.
I don't believe I've seen anything from either of these teams. But I'm interested regardless. We have different players here. Both comps looking pretty smooth. But I am really liking this ball comp here as a Whiskey follows up on a slam, getting the kill on the strat. But not without a few casualties coming up here inside of Skoll. Able to get two as the point is just now open. They are making their way over. But the recoil is forced out, getting almost up to the limit of the 1 to 3 as they are even able to start. Not able to come out with the rest of it. Not able to get the kill. Western is coming out of the way. They're having a little bit of support. But on both sides, it's directly at 3. Able to get the headshot kill on the Biscuit, but Biscuit is able to pick up the kill. And although that's the headline, his ult economy is looking quite thick. A lot of damage and healing coming out as this next fight should be pretty exciting. That's a already showing off. We're getting rolling up here. But the boom comes out to Gatsby. Needing to secure a few more kills with some time. Forcing Skoll to go back into spawn here. Oh, but Biscuit turns the tide, getting the kill on the Gatsby here. Although no ults have came out from the side of Skoll, they just need to get a nice ult regroup here. Opting to go into the left room here. Very big rain coming out. With a full motor attack on the Pandas, getting a kill. Look at that. Taking the fight as well, not afraid to slam one hand into this room. And that will be Space Pandas Lilac taking the first point here on Lijiang Tower.
Score 0 to 1. Ready for battle.
Going on to our second point here.
5,
with a bit
4,
more open space.
3,
I believe this one is gardens.
1.
Not seeing any composition swaps from either side here. Both very confident in what they're playing. And although I did mention earlier, Gatsby getting the kill immediately onto Biscuit. As the hazard is looking to find the Genji out, and they are able to get a kill. Lucy is next onto the chopping block, but able to get away. At 11 HP, no, Mensa does fall. trying to chase some exit kills here, but that will be the first point capture going to Skoll.
That feels better.
Large slam, Lesser Rat, able to get the kill on Kirito, as the rest of his team follows up very cleanly. In the background, Frosty falls, though Frosty is a loud teammate. Point swapping into Space Pandas favor here. Is it looking like it'll be 20% and 20% here? A nice secure onto Whiskey here as Skoll is able to inch up and get some ground here. It's coming out. I'm not going to find anybody as of this moment. But it's quite a large boost onto the Bastion as the point does flip over here. A really great sticky onto the wrecking ball here. And both supports are a little stranded in the main area, but they are coming to Fosterjack's rescue. Yet again, this map is looking so even here.
Let the Kitsune guide you! Did you build that ball yourself?
Well, the two support on the side.
Just Tyson.
Both teams are still fighting. Are able to catch out 3 people here. Express getting 3 eliminations. Take that forward in the range. Project getting the slap and slap onto Mensa though. Although the ball lives, yeah, it's telling you with 90% coming up on here. All are on the field. Jason gets able to get killed.
Charging. Minefield charging.
We'll heal you up. Time to start the party.
In tip-top shape!
Whiskey finding a really early kill on the Gatsby. That's exactly what they need here for this point here. Strata looking for anybody to put the bombs onto. But they aren't able to get the Noodle ult coming out. Unable to stay alive. Great able to get Biscuit with the pulse continuation must be fast. Not even able to find Butter at far too low and ban the hammer, getting the finishing blow onto Whiskey. It's really anybody's game at this point, with a 100-99 here. Skoll taking the second point here on Lilac.
Ready for battle.
They only ready for me.
anybody is in the chat and thinks that the audio isn't well balanced or they can't hear me very well, please let me know.
2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Going into point number 3 here.
Here.
Still, not too many composition swaps here, but they will be favoring the somber cast here. Big spend goes on immediately as the rest of the team is able to follow up, getting a really nice triple. That's going very low, but is able to be out with Frosty Jack also skedaddling away.
I'm here.
Gotta go quick.
Really great shots connecting out of vents. They are down to speed though.
Nice. Keep it up.
On the side of Space Pandas, that will be the point swapping over to Skoll.
Todo listo por aquí. Can't keep the sun down.
My favorite part.
Really great dive, great on the pass here. Not without a head. But they are able to connect to the Juno and the Kiri here. Very easily. Getting it also onto the Melvin. And the point is back in.
Under my protection.
A little bit of staggering kills here as they are holding things in spawn here. Just so they like to be using as much time as they can.
Catch you later.
Making it hard for them to get out of this area.
Let the kitsune guide you.
Blaze coming out. Really connect on the F4. Somebody backtrack
My soul
I'm not
is
sure if they're really aware of that. That's be able to get two. As everybody from the side of Space Pandas runs back to help to secure the point, and that is the picks that they need to get out of the spawn hold. All coming up onto the point. Buster does not care. There's so much damage here. Curious. Attempts to get the kill on a man. Going straight for the point here. There will be a touch onto the point.
Apagando las luces.
Another wrecking ball ult coming out, and that will be a very convincing win onto Space Panda's side. Play the game.
Play of the game.
That's alright, I'm not wrecking ball.
爪の鍵爪を解き放て。
Overall, really great set there on our first map with Space Pandas able to clutch it out. But we will be going on to a hybrid map here next. And out of the choices, here. It'll be Icon Mode, Midtown, or Blizzard World. So please stay tuned as we go into our map 2 here. I will be putting us on a little bit of elevator music as we start to get the bands all settled out. Stay tuned. Hiya.
Hello.
Hiya.
What up, everybody? We are so back. Am I hot? It's a very specific question. Don't take it the wrong way.
Nah, I get it.
Well, answer the question.
You are, yes. We do have our wonderful caster here, Mr. Leapfrog, able to join me for this upcoming map 2, Annihilation Nation. Really looking forward to this.
Yes. This is going to be exciting. I missed the entirety of map 1, so my apologies. I was busy getting set up. But nonetheless, we are back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2, Skoll, Space Pandas, ready to get it on. Who took map 1, Solaire? Because I missed it.
Map 1 was a 1-2 Space Pandas, Lilac, able to take it out on the Lilac Tower.
Interesting, okay.
But we are on map
It's
number
one of
2, Eichenwald.
Honestly, I like this map way more than Scrims Row. I know a lot of people kind of have a soft heart for one of those, maps they've had for, since launch. But honestly, it feels like Eichenwald has been one of the staple maps as well over time.
It really has been, with the dominant high grounds and availability to really play whatever type of comp you prefer. I think Eichenwald is a really great pick here from the side of Skoll.
Yeah, especially if they're going to play kind of like this hybrid brawl style with an Ashe alongside of it. It's one of those things, I mean, I think Sojourn works a lot better in these types of comps, but, at the end of the day, it's kind of the preference. I know Sojourn, seen by a lot of people as a hit scan, but, having that primary fire that allows for consistent damage throughout the fights kind of helps out a ton with, alleviating some of the damage misconceptions that Ashe could be lacking in some of those fields. But we're about to find out here. Map number 2, Space Pandas looking to attack here on the Eichenwald. Yes.
Very dominant on that.
Well, that was a quick pick at the start onto the Ashe, but I'm surprised that they were still able to hold right there. Huge turnaround right there. I was gonna say I like the support choice on both sides. I mean, having that Lucio and Kiriko at your backline just to kind of alleviate some of that damage you could be taking and just kind of speed onto opponents, especially targets who are low. You can see immediate swap from Stratus over to the Soldier. No more Ashe time. Time for the legs 76. So let's see how it's going to deal with fight number 2. They were still pretty successful despite being a bit down super early on here. You can see the speed going in here. Lesser Rat going over to the Ramatra, trying to pop some Annihilation, trying to beat down Lucio caught in the corner, but all the while Decius putting the team on their backs, getting 2 big picks right there. And the Kiriko, not a damage button.
What an evil stagger.
Nice stagger. Again, it's one of those things like, Space Pandas got the very first pick of this interaction and still wind up losing that fight. So it's a matter of maybe of sustain, maybe just trying to play a little bit safer. They do have a Tracer, so I mean, obviously having that immediate impact and splash damage does help out a ton, but still losing the fight, so not finding a whole lot of success. You see Decius kind of playing a little aggressive, being on the forefront, a lot of the kills on the kill feed. Speaking of which, Frosty Jack getting the early pick to start. We see Whiskey just trying their best, and Strategus is just catching every single death miss. I think that's the only person who's perished on the side of Skoll has just been Strategus. As you can see the kill feed, or the scoreboard right there. Yeah, I mean, Evolution maybe have taken 1 death, but Strategus obviously the sole focus on the side of Space Pandas. Ton of ultimates coming out here on both sides.
Somebody will have to be the punching bag in this composition, and unfortunately, Soldier just doesn't have the damage or the
Woo! Double support ultimate on the side of Skoll. Big damage, big ultimates coming out. Pulse Bomb going to come out as well. A fight's about even. Both Kirikos on both sides are gone. And now, like I said, with the commitment of both support ultimates on the side of Skoll, it's going to like Blink with Gatsby with a huge Death Blossom right there, turning the fight around. I thought it was going to be over for sure. Now, Whiskey 1 HP in a dream might have to pop open that bottle himself, because that was horrendous right there. Big commitment on the side of Space Pandas and no success. You see Lesserat swapping over to the Orisa. No more Ramatra. No success there. We've got both support ultimates on the side of Space Pandas as well. I really don't want to see both of them being committed right here, but it's one of those things. I mean, they're running out of time. Solaire, 30 seconds left. We see one. We're going to see the other one shortly thereafter if Mensa doesn't perish right there. Big pick for Forgetful. No tank. Soldier Visor. Soldier finally finds the pick here, and now big DPS picks on the side of Skoll. With 15 seconds left on the board, I really struggle to see how Mensa is going to be able to get to the point and even get this beat off. 10 seconds remaining. Desperation touch incoming. Might be able to build up the beat. No, just short 99% and a dream. As Skoll basically full holds this point, stops it at 55.5%.
Really great number to land on. But as Eichenwald stands, there still could be a draw or even a loss here. Though it's not a lot of percentage. With how dominant they were able to hold on defense, it's really anybody's game still.
Yeah, I was going to say, it can go either way here. I mean, this map in general is synonymous with a lot of, draws. I mean, you've already said it yourself that it still can be a draw. It's going to be super unlikely. I haven't seen too many times where, like, a 0.5% is enough to push for a draw. But, stranger things have happened in Overwatch, so it would not... It's not impossible. I definitely could see it happening, but... Either way, again, Space Pandas was looking good for a second, but that's what I was worried about. I mean, I was worried about double support ultimates being used during that fight just to try to turn it around, but you saw Mensa not even able to build up their beat, not even able to commit it at any point in time during that fight. So, big loss right there, because, I mean, I think a beat during that fight would have done wonders, especially for Forgetful. I mean, he went up there to pop the overclock to try to eliminate Strategist off that high ground, but not able to survive the onslaught and the never missing bullets that is Soldier's Visor.
It really stinks though, since they were able to get the speed and the drop 2 or 3 times in a row, but unable to get that point.
Alright, now we're going to see Skoll's attempt at the attack. We're seeing a completely different composition from Space Pandas this fight here. Going with the Orisa to start. Forgetful on the Genji main. Whiskey on, oh my goodness, Strategist, the punching bag of Skoll, once again getting caught out of position here, starting off with a -1 on this fight, but does not matter because this is exactly how they've been. They've kind of been comfortable in this position because every single time I feel like I find Desi is lighting up the kill feed, but this time I don't think the numbers are going to fall in their favor as Space Pandas takes this first fight here. This initial fight tells a lot because I wonder if they're going to try to change their composition or if they're going to try to approach with the same tactic. I mean, obviously they got Strategist early on in that fight, so they're not too worried about that. If they can, make it a 4v5 every single fight, they're looking like they'd be in a really good position to hold this. See Evolution trying to keep the high ground clear. As well as saying, I think Lucio is a really good option just to kind of have some mobility for your team, but as well as you can have that not only lateral, but then also verticality is a combination with it. And Gatsby caught in a really bad position right there, just overextension all the way to the back line. No tank in sight to help him out, and Decius also falling to the Terra Surge. Another fight win here for Space Pandas, looking pretty hot.
One ult used, I'm not sure, but it will be enough for this next time.
Let's see. I think Terra Surge is one of those ults, like, it's one of those things that it reminds me a lot of, like, Tracer's ultimate, where you kind of just use it, and, oh man, how to use it. The Immortality field right here, but again, Strategist falling, Biscuit forced to use Window because it's one of those things, like, if he perishes and, dies without using it, may not have another opportunity. Gatsby getting both supports, despite the Window pretty much using it like a friendly Window himself, and all off the backs of one flank from Gatsby, turning that fight around. Yeah, Whiskey was so close to getting that Tactic Shock right there, and surprising win for Skoll right there, because, I mean, honestly, it looked pretty bleak for them on their attack runs, because, I mean, several defensive holds from Space Pandas seemed like it was going to turn things around, but you see, this might even be the play here where Gatsby just kind of went to the back line and put in the work. Who needs a Tracer when you got a big guy with 2 big shotguns?
play the game able to reflect that as Gatsby just gets behind him and uses their window to his succession. But we will be going to a break here as we prepare for map 3. Stay tuned.
All right, map 3, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Solaire, let me do it.
Of course.
We are here. Just messing around. No, me and Solaire, Mr. Leapfrog, and Solaire back on the mic here. Map number 3 for Annihilation. Week number...
4.
What week number are we on? 4?
4.
Yes. Yes, 4. Tier 3 got Skoll and Space Pandas. Again, Solaire running the overlays, running everything, making sure everything looks amazing. So all I have to do is sit back and relax. I appreciate you, Solaire, more than you know. But we are going into map number 3 tied. 1 game apiece, 1 map apiece. So now we're going to see who's going to jump in the lead here. No ties. Well, there might be a tie, but again, super unlikely, like a 0.01%, almost impossible. Map number 3.
1.
Let's go to Canada.
In 30 seconds.
Let's get it started.
I just saw about Canada, a poutine eating contest, and it really brings me into the spirit, even though it's completely unrelated to Overwatch here.
I would win. My big back self loves to eat. And nothing excites me more of fries than adding gravy and cheese onto it. Dang! Lesser Rat. Got excited. He got a little hungry too. Wants to eat up Gatsby right now. Just running in, mirroring the Junker Queen. We saw Hazard and Genji being banned for this map. Oh, and Mensa getting caught out of position again, just trying to hug the edge of the map, but not going to work in his favor. Whiskey getting a pick as well to help out Lesser Rat. You see right there, Jessica just said, you know what? Just kill me. Kill me. If you dare.
Maybe trying
But
to swap over
that
to
first
a
fight
more
win.
mobile character here,
That
though.
party was
But
boring.
they will figure it out on
You would think like you would think it's like a Moira or something to swap over to, or even, you know, the Kiriko, because we've seen a lot of success coming out from Desicus on the Kiriko, but still sticking it out on the Ana. Ay, ay, ay. Frosty getting a little too overzealous right there. Gatsby going to get the pick on the Whiskey, but, I mean, I think it's still going to be a lot of push bot progress right now on the side of Space Pandas, as they are, unintended, making a lot of space.
Wu Yang, our newest character, is actually enabled in this match today. And with a bit of mobility and a whole lot of healing, I'm surprised we haven't seen him play yet.
I just want to say, I think Wu Yang is one of those characters, like, it's, like, decent, kind of like Moira, like, just decent, but nothing enough to, like, make you want to play them in a team competition. We also haven't seen any pros really play them into, like, professional play, so it could be one of those things that they're waiting to see the comp basically use in action before they want to commit to it. But speaking of commit, picks back and forth right now. You see Gatsby again going straight to the back line, getting a few picks, taking the bot away from the checkpoint, but it looks like it may be it, or Gatsby once again just getting chased down by Lesser Rat. Yeah, it looks like he's going to fall there, try to get healed up at the last second from Desicus, but again, with no speed besides the Lucio, it's going to be kind of hard here. I can imagine the Rampage coming out here from my man Lesser Rat. Getting a ton of people anti right there in that fight. Sleep Dart too little too late. Tons of picks, even despite May having the Ice Block to cleanse some of that anti. Not going to matter right there. As another fight win for Space Pandas, working on 100 meters to 0 right now. Mensa getting dangerously low. Strategist playing the Mystery Heroes Roulette as he goes to the Bastion now. 4 ultimates, almost 5 on the side of Skoll. Nano coming out here, beat as well. Tons of ultimates, all basically 4 are going to be used and gone. Gatsby got a huge picks with the Deadeye here. Don't know if he's got the special pistol. I hope he does, because I'm trying to be like Luka Doncic. No, he's got the Emerald.
He's got the banana
So sad.
Though.
I like it.
I don't.
Looks like we're going to flip the point finally. Finally some progress from Skoll. It's not going to be a complete shutout here, but still 118 is a ginormous hill to climb. And every journey, I tell you, Solaire begins with a single step. Imagine Rampage will come out immediately after the Suzu being baited out, so they got to get somebody who's kind of low, force Biscuit to use the Suzu. And the axe onto Frosty might be enough to bait it out, but I don't even think they need it at this point. Gatsby's got 2 picks and gets slept forgetful. So close to seeing 4 skulls on the screen, but Eska's shutting it down again. with the Anna pick, the unorthodox Anna pick. I was not expecting Anna to work here. I thought they were going to swap maybe after a couple lives, especially after that dreadful start to this map here on Noon Queen Street. But still, sticking it out. Persistence outweighs resistance. I mean, despite Whiskey being a nuisance on the Tracer and pestering and poking, Desica's still finding a lot of success. Got a couple more ultimates coming out here.
Your day just got made.
What do you say, Solar?
Oh, I agree. Although this Ana is an absolute blast, they are making use of the cannoneering, hitting almost every single street, forcing up that Suzu very fast.
Let's take him to the wasteland.
Oh boy, big ultimate from Jack right now. Jack getting one pick, working on a second, gonna find two. Strategist still gonna commit to the artillery strike here, and just to make sure they clean up the rest of that fight, was gonna use two ults and secure that fight win. Now we might see the checkpoint here, and it's kind of unusual. I mean, a complete turnaround on the side of Skoll here. Now kind of getting their footing, maybe started getting some perks on the board, and started recognizing like what's working and what's not. Because now, as we get the checkpoint, fight is kind of even right now, despite there being still a 60-meter gap between the two teams. I'm feeling like Skoll is in a pretty good position. Just when I say that, Lesserat committing Rampage, feet as well, just to kind of sustain and keep people alive. Forgetful on the board, trying to make it a quad feed, but Whiskey shutting it down. Still a team kill for Space Pandas, a fight win, and now I think they're going to try to add on to their already huge lead.
Really get used, especially just from two ults there. They are able to get the team kill, but Biscuit is going to fall immediately to Gatsby with that.
Oh no, big mistake. Overcommitment right there on the side of Space Pandas. They got a few picks, but they kind of, I don't know if they forgot. Wow, that was a big pick. Huge boop right there from Evolution. But I just want to say, I wonder if they didn't realize that they were going to have the forward spawn, because they played super aggressive right there. Maybe weren't aware that they're going to be spawning so close. Kind of jump scared them out of nowhere. And because of that overcommitment, now immediately flips back over into Skoll's favor. You see Gatsby on the prowl. He got scouted, so he's like, you know what? I'm not going to try to risk it and go back to my team. What is hurting him? Oh, I was going to say, that Tracer, I can barely hear the Tracer getting chased. Oh no, Gatsby, you gotta run, man! Too little, too late on the beat for Evolution. Desica's also popping the Nano onto Frosty Jack. And still, despite, again, a very early pick from Space Pandas, the sustain from Skoll is enough to keep them alive and potentially win this fight. A 1v1 for Junker Queen for the bot control. This is so big! Lesserat just trying to survive as best as they can and loses the Junker Queen. Not really a 1v1, but it was definitely a fight for the ages. Definitely to see who takes this throne and potentially might take the lead here in this map.
Anybody gonna stop that robot? Where there's smoke.
Really great
Oh, got him!
They're catching up.
Okay, and you see again another early pick on the side of Space Pandas. So Skoll decides they're gonna back up, let them kind of get it back into their control with the bodies, with the numbers on the point. They're not too worried about it because again, it's like every single time they lose somebody early on, they still find a way to win that fight. Forgetful versus Gatsby, as tale as old as time. Who's the hash-slinging slasher of the Cowboys? Time for the reckoning. No! Huge sleep from Desica's again! Oh, he's still gonna get a follow-up here from Whiskey. And yeah, a big fight win right there. Definitely needed that for Space Pandas. If they lost that fight, that would have been a huge win for Skoll. As a big ultimate, a big rampage, turning the fight around. And I think they're going to get the forward spawn here as well as potential. Probably not getting any meters here. Probably going to stop it a little bit earlier on, but still huge. What the? Strategist, I think, yanked down from the heavens. And again, continues to be the punching bag throughout this entire set. Evolution, gotta come up big here. You gotta find a way to keep this other Junker Queen at bay. Forgetful, popping behind Noon, not gonna find anything, but Whiskey still finding picks here over and over again. Frosty just trying their best to try to sustain. Strategist got the one pick that turns into artillery shells in this tank formation. And again, Frosty Jack versus their former self in another lifetime. Get back, son. I don't need you. Wow, just chasing him down. Big staggers right here. And already getting the bot to turn back around. 1 minute to go here. Still About a 30-meter deficit right now for Skoll. They got to try to turn it around right now. They got to win several fights consecutively. They can't make any more mistakes here. They got a couple ultimates on the side of Skoll. Desica's also going back over to the Kiriko. Wants to make sure they can find a way to cleanse, and another early pick here for Space Pandas. Gatsby just overstaying his welcome. Strategist almost finding the pick onto Forgetful, and now no DPS. They got to reset right now. 30 seconds left, Solaire.
Sometimes it takes two.
Uh-oh, and now a rampage from Lesser Rat. Gotta get out of there. Oh my gosh, Desica's almost getting caught out of there. That would have been a huge pick right there because they need this Kiriko to get the Suzu out. Lesser Rat just trying to bait it out. Gatsby gets an early pick as well. I wonder if they're going to try to fight it here or they're going to commit. Yeah, and I think, yeah, Yinkta, they wanted to regroup. They wanted to try to find a fight with the full team. Getting caught out of position, and now with the Lucio getting staggered as well. That's huge for Skoll here. This is a potential overtime push for the map win. It's tied up 1-1 right here. So winner of this map takes the lead of the series. Forgetful. Forgetting he doesn't have a healer at his back. Typical Forgetful. See? Battle of the Lucios has been so big there throughout this entire set. Menta's been playing well, but so has Evolution. It's going to be so crucial to keep the opposing Junker Queen at bay. Every time they try to go in for an axe, you got to find a way to boop them back. Suzu out, and it means it's go time for Lesser Rat. Beat coming out as well on both sides. Huge beat from Evolution. They got to stay on the point. Gatsby gets a pick for finds and falls as well. Lesser Rat trying to find the kill onto Frosty Jack, and he does with the help of their fellow Cassidy. They got the pop progress, but now it's just a matter of time before they can get the picks. Biscuit trying to run away from the Annihilation. And there it is, map number 3 going to the way of Space Pandas in a Giga Banger in overtime, potentially going over to Skoll, but finding a way to clutch it up with the JQ.
Play of the game.
And man, again, big mistakes right there on both sides of the coin. I mean, their DPS were just kind of overstaying their welcome a lot of the time. You saw early on in almost every single fight there would either be a pick onto one DPS or the other. So they've really got to lock it down going forward for the rest of the series just to make sure that they don't fall to a point where to a point of no return. Map number 5. What's that map type?
I believe it's map 4 here. But to get back to you on that map type, we will be swapping sides and going over to an escort map, either Route 66 Dorado or Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Hey. Gibraltar is not a bad map choice, especially now that Hazard is no longer able to be banned. Frosty Jack can kind of go back to his favorite woof tank here with the Hazard. So, in my opinion, I think they can go a couple different ways. I think Route 66 is probably the best choice, but they also can do Gibraltar, which is kind of, synonymous with any tank players that love to have like that verticality in their, their tool bag with like Winston, Diva, the very divey tanks. But that also plays into the hands of Space Pandas, where Wrecking Ball, no longer banned, could be used as well. So honestly, they can go a couple different ways. I think they're going to be probably leaning towards Route 66 here, but we'll have to see with their upcoming map choice and bans.
I would hope to see the Dorado here, as I really enjoy that map, but I will be sending us over to a break as we get our bans and map all settled.
All right, stay tuned, guys. Map number 4 coming right back at you. Space Pandas trying to close out the series with this map. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 4, Space Pandas trying to close out the series right here. Skoll trying to take us to a map number 5, and they think they can do it on the Route 66. The team was kind of surprised. They're like, man, we forgot this map even existed. And I was telling them, I think this map really plays into Skoll's strong suit. So they're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Strategist actually swapping over to the Lucio, and Glaceon coming in for the DPS on the Soldier 76. Lesser Rat back on the Wrecking Ball. So no Wrecking Ball ban, which is surprising. But hey, if they go to a map 5, that's where they'll need it most. So let's go. Map number 4. Skoll trying to tie us up. Let's get it on. Get pulled back on the Genji play. One of my favorite characters. Wow, Mensa just playing a little aggressive. But hey, guess what? You're in your spawn door. Not a big deal. Body block and Lesser Rat recognized. This is a one-way exit. So I'm gonna have to go the other way. Let's try to get out. Shin also playing the Genji guy.
I really like spectating.
You say really what?
All of these guys level, seeing who's the one trick and who's the one not.
Ooh, about that. Yeah, don't look at my profile. So I'm definitely showing potential one trick on a specific character. But hey, now to each their own. Got 190 on the Soldier.
190 on the Soldier is crazy. And Shin with the 150 on Genji. Absolutely insane play.
Oh my gosh. Those are the hey, if you're gonna play those two characters in particular, those are the two players you want on their respective roles. The Frosty Jack catching Mensa just a little overzealous once again. Pile drive coming in, but to no avail. Big picks on the side of Skoll. You see the ooh man, nice pick right there from Forgetful and Lesser Rat to the duo. Kind of dive in the back line here, and they're still committed. They lost Mensa super early on that fight, and they're still committed to this fight. They still got bodies on the payload, and you see Frosty immediately said, you know what, we'll let the ball just kind of sit in the back line. I'm going to make sure I go to the payload, contest it, don't give them any type of breathing room. You see, I mean, despite losing somebody early on in that fight, Space Panda is actually the one winning this fight. I feel like throughout this entire series, it's a matter of like who actually loses somebody first is actually the team that wins the fight. So, honestly, I would love to see the percentages, because I know back in like Overwatch League, it was like a staggering like 60 or 70%, close to 70% of the time, if you got the first pick, you would win the team fight. You see Mines coming out, pretty much cutting off the high ground entirely. Glaceon just trying desperately to run to the health pack, able to get it here, but I don't think they're going to survive for too much longer. Both DPS pretty much out of the picture on the side of Skoll. Yeah, Glaceon's going to barely escape with 1 HP, and still tons of payload progress happening right now. The support on Space Panda has kind of been sitting down, anchoring down hard. Oh, big ultimate commitment from Frosty Jack, and he gets one pick right there. Beat's going to come out from Strategist as well. They're going to try to keep it going. Oh, Blade now from Forgetful. Both supports shutting him down. Skoll has nobody left on the point besides the people who are dwindling down in HP little by little. And now it's only a matter of time before you fall. And point 1 going to my man, the Space Panda.
Absolutely crazy plays and use from ult on both sides there. Able to secure kills and deny kills, but Space Panda is really able to shine with that Dragon Blade and make use of that, what is it called? Lucio B, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, when you're dealing with a ton of ultimates like that, that's why I like the transition to 5v5, because it makes it a little bit easier trying to keep track of ultimates, because we're about to see a lot more coming out. You see one blade, oh man, and you saw Shin immediately turn away. I do that a lot too, where you get that second swipe and you're like, okay, that will surely kill. I'm going to try to look for the next target and start dashing towards them, but turning away a little too early, still able to find that success right there. Even him and Shin is in disbelief. Man, I can't believe I messed up my blade like that. Messed up my play. Messed up my clip, man. I mean, look how fast Space Panda is immediately getting back into the fight. I mean, they just lost 2 people, and they're already committed right back in the fight. I mean, less than 20 seconds. That's the benefit of running all these fast-paced characters. Full spawn, not going to find a connection onto this evasive Strategist, but Glaceon getting the pick onto the fellow Lucio. And you see right here, just a lot of picks going back and forth.
I think it's really crazy how everybody on Skoll is able to just play together like that and deny the value of the ball. Like, despite him getting his team so fast, they're really just denying the potential.
I mean, if you think about it, that's realistically what you need to do when you're playing against a dive comp. That's the answer. You just kind of bunch up together, make it so that there's no one singular target for them to isolate like that. But you saw Lesserat immediately swinging into the fight, isolating a target by force. Shin gonna equalize the fight right now, and the fight is literally even right now. 3 people each on the side, but you see Mensa dashing away, but not able to dash away for too much longer. And you see a big pick right there, pretty much turning that fight here. Shin, last one on the point, but still able to survive as long as he can just to contest this point. Doing an amazing job doing so. Lesserat forced basically to use an ult, and we see another big ultimate coming out on the side of Frosty Jack. Big picks, he recognized he got the pick, and the entire team commits on there with the help of Strategus speed boosting in. 1 HP left for the ball, and still being able to survive and get a pick in retaliation. But it looks like it's going to be over here on the side of Space Pandas. They're going to try to get a reset here, but again, you see how fast they're able to reset these fights. And that's what's been helping him out, because, I mean, despite, you know, losing somebody on or losing some of these fights, they're getting back so quickly. They're having, you know, 3 or 4 fights in the time it takes, you know, Skoll to get 1 in. Now with less than a minute left on the clock, there's going desperation time. Forgetful popping the blade, and unfortunately the beat is going to come out from Skoll, still able to get the pick onto them. All of the blade focused entirely onto Strategus. And you see 1 HP in a dream, and the Genji, you're not going to touch my Kiriko. That is mine. And you see the blade in retaliation as well from Shin. Wants to show he can get the clip as well, but Lesserat able to narrowly escape with their life. Not able to survive. No, it's not able to survive. Oh man, good pick right there. Because honestly, if he survived, I mean, it wouldn't have made that much of a difference. But having that pick, forcing their team to kind of regroup and stagger a little bit. I mean, now we're in 10 seconds left. You know, Frosty working on another ultimate here to kind of isolate these people on point. Suzu coming out. I think Kitsune Rex is going to follow suit as well. Trying to keep their tank desperately alive. He's at 99% to his ult. It looks like he's going to commit to the ult or not. Mines also coming out, but huge picks from Skoll to be able to shut it down. He dashes into the mines, but it does not matter because they're all cleared up from the ultimate. 1 HP for Forgetful and not able to survive, and Mensa not able to get the beat off right there. And now with the soldier just sitting back and peppering these people to death, they're going to be able to stop from halfway in between point B.
Score.
All right, I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. Skoll is in a really good position right now. They have a win condition. They can take us to a map number 5. I think they can do it. What do you think, Solaire?
I think they can do it. As we showed, like, how dominant they were on that defense, I think the attack might just be easier if they're able to keep that momentum up with the pick after pick. But that ball is really great at disrupting all of these hits. I'm not really sure who it could really go to. It's really just whichever tank makes the most space, I suppose.
What were the bans for this map again?
Let's see.
Ready for battle.
There's a whole lot of yap. We have Widowmaker and Ana bans.
So this is one of those rare instances where a tank doesn't even get touched here. In my opinion, I would have probably went to the JQ here. I think JQ does, you know, similar to what the Wrecking Ball has been wanting to do, but he can kind of sustain your team a little bit better. We saw him using those adaptive shields early on for the Wrecking Ball, but not able to disperse it over to his teams to kind of keep them alive, keep them nice and healthy. Junker Queen really does help out with that commanding shout, being able to kind of shout your team in, give him some little bit of overhealth, and save the speed boost from Mensa, so that way you can use that for a more, maybe for healing aspect. Because I think sustain was a big problem on the side of Space Pandas, why they're not able to win a lot of these fights despite getting that early pick. But we're going to see Skoll's attempt on attack. Glaceon, early pick on with the soldier. And again, just despite how aggressive that Space Pandas is playing right now, Skoll has an answer for it. They have the retaliation. They can kind of do a little James Harden, hit him with the step back, and start to clear him up a little bit. And you see Glaceon, I was kind of skeptical seeing the soldier. If you ask me, especially in all my ranked games, I'll tell you, I hate seeing soldier players through and through just because of how inconsistent he can be in the game. But they're really making him work.
I agree, honestly.
Oh,
It was
wow,
really
it-
interesting seeing that he got the what can you call that? The perk that boosts him instead of being able to run around.
You see a big composition swap. Shin just stalking their prey, and it's go time. Biscuit forced to use every single. That is a huge bait right there. They got a ton of abilities. Shin is playing out of his mind, and he's looking for Biscuit as well. Hungry for more. Not able to get the Biscuit. You got to save that for a later meal. But man, that was a big bait right there from Shin. You saw him bait out the immortality, the regenerative burst, and the pull from both supports, and almost getting both supports in that one little dash. That was huge, because I mean, guess what? No Life Weaver for this fight. He's just getting into the fight now. If they can, you know, be quick with this, they can really apply the pressure. They see the Life Weaver isolated all by themselves. Mensa in a really bad position right here. You see Forgetful trying to get an off angle right now just to kind of get a pick here. Glaceon falling dangerously low, but thankfully Celeste keeping them nice and healthy. Ultimate coming out from everywhere! Lesserat gets the trap onto Celeste, and with no Susan, not able to keep him alive. Lesserat a little overextended right there. Forgetful trying to dash back for the payload, just looking for life. And you see Skoll kind of take a pause on their offense right now. There's a lot of sustain. They've got Whiskey back on the Venture. They are phenomenal at staying alive, being a nuisance on the point. I mean, what you trade out for the Wrecking Ball, you kind of make up for with this Venture. Venture can still contest the point while burrowed. Why it's like that, don't ask me. I'm not a dev. I don't know the decision making, but I do know the decision making from Forgetful, and it is the correct move. Strategist caught out of position once again. Huge high noon. And honestly, I say huge, it's one pick, but guess what? One pick is huge in the eyes of Cassidy players, because, I mean, Cassidy has been synonymous with having one of the worst ultimates in the game. Very slow, you know, very easily avoidable. A lot of CC tools kind of disrupt it, so for him to get a pick right there, it's glows in your eyes.
One pick can really
You see right now they're taking it up and oh, big window right now. One! Looking for two! Interesting, I don't know why he didn't commit to Whiskey right there. He would have been able to get that pick. Big ultimates from everywhere. Shin finding another pick. Both supports are going to be down on the side of Space Pandas. The tree is the last bit life left for Space Pandas as Skoll gets the last pick right there onto the team. But look how far this payload's got to go. Only 30 seconds left. They still have time to recoup. Still have time to contest. They need all the bodies they can on point. 3 on the payload. I'm shouting at the top of my lungs right now. We got to get this payload moving. We're so far behind. 15 seconds left on the clock. Whiskey's got the Tectonic Shock. Lesserat almost working on ultimate on themselves. Tectonic Shock might be coming out kind of early here. We'll have to see. Burrowing super early on here just to contest as best as they can. The trades from Shin. The beat coming out. Visor as well. Excavation initiation. Tectonic Shock gets 1, basically 2. And this is for the life. Skoll's got to win this right here. Otherwise, their series is over. 1 HP against 2 supports and the hazard, and it's not going to work out in their favor. And Space Pandas working it out, finding a way to dig deep, swapping, making all the adaptations in this match, and is what was able to help them close out the series 3-1 over Skoll. If you look how that map started, I would have thought Skoll was taking us to a map 5, but all of a sudden Space Pandas pulled out the works. They pulled out every character they could. They said, you know what? We don't care what one-trick characters you got. We've got our whole arsenal. We've got the whole team locked and loaded to be able to turn that map around. And again, it was all off the aggression from Lesserat and Space Pandas on the Wrecking Ball. It makes a huge difference when you're able to make so many fights happen so consistent, so often that, I mean, you saw finally when Skoll gets that big win, that big fight win that they needed to get, the payload was so far behind, so at that point, they had so much ground to cover, it gave Space Pandas another opportunity, despite not having a Wrecking Ball or a Lucio, time to get back onto the point and close out the series.
I think the only way they could have really won that ending fight was if they comboed the Curie with the soldier ult there. That could have been enough damage there to help alleviate Skoll and get them up on that first point. But it seemed like they were just holding ults and not popping them early at all.
And that's a big problem too with a lot of teams, especially the up and coming teams, the ones that are getting like just on the precipice of going up to the next tier. Is you start to see them kind of think too far ahead. They go, okay, well let's save this ultimate for the next fight, and oh, okay, we won this fight, maybe we save it for the next one. And when you start saving ultimates like that, and you start staggering them, and then all of a sudden you try to use a boatload of ultimates, you try to ult bomb them, you wind up overcommitting some of these fights. So sometimes, especially with like characters like Tracer or Risa and stuff like that, you can kind of just throw those ultimates out. And honestly, I think a Visor with the Kitsune Rush actually would have made a huge difference right there. I mean, you saw, the soldier have to try to make an overcommitment just to try to find some sort of picks, but to no avail. Again, the kiting from Space Pandas really made a huge difference throughout the entire series.
But it was really great to have you out here. I'm so glad you could join. And cast today's match, the Skoll versus Space Pandas Lilac Tier 3 match today on Week 4 of Annihilation. I'm really appreciative that you were able to come out.
Oh yeah, Solaire, it's great to be on the mic here with you. You always do an amazing job running the camera and running the overlay and making sure it looks amazing. So big shout outs to you. I know you and I run multiple different leagues. We've done Kaizen, Annihilation, IOWL. So I'm hoping we got more matches to come. And again, I had a great time. Thank you again, Solaire, for making sure everything looks great tonight.
I appreciate everybody able to watch the stream today, and those who are going to be watching the VOD uploaded immediately after. But that will be a 3-1 to Space Pandas v Skoll, and that will be our game for tonight.
All right, thank you again for everybody tuning in tonight. Feel free to join the Discord so you can find out when the next matches are coming up here, when we're going to go live, and of course, if you want to participate or join in the teams, get in the Discord, find out more information about the league so you can get in here and get into some more Annihilation Overwatch action. So with that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been Mr. Leapfrog on the mic, Solaire as well on the mic as the Sticks. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again next time.
I'll rate us out, and I hope everybody has a great night tonight.